Hello, everyone. This is Curtis Abrams here, also known as Curtstride, knowing that the great business that you may have is your business, online and off. Well, I wanted to talk to you guys. I want to reach a subject matter, something, of importance that you all might need to know. Okay? If one was to come up to you and say, how did you do it? What made you do it? And what was that one thing that was so important for you to keep the motivation going? Um, what would your answer be? One would probably be saying money, because money makes you go around and money keeps you motivated to where you want to be. Some would say love, because you got to have a passion and a love for something that you like and go for. Some would say even happiness. And the reason happiness exists is because of the fact that you got to keep striving, per se, keep going, and keep making people happy around the way. Whatever you have to do, the way of perpetual motion keeps going and flowing to the best way possible. Well, I want to talk to you guys about that one important thing that you may not know that you should have that's going to keep you going perpetually in business, online and off. Okay, you might find this surprising. It's not money. Well, it can be money, but I mean, it's the most important thing you can have, right? But just ask all those rich people who were very unhappy, or even better yet, read most of those people who won those lottery winnings, and they'll tell you they wasn't happy at all when they won. Okay, so you would think money would be everything, not really, but just maintain the money you can. It could create your happiness. The second thing is love, and you would think love is the most important thing because, after all, we have to love everybody, right? Well, love sure is important. I can't imagine living without it. I mean, my family, I hope they love me because I love them to death. And without love, I don't know where I would be at right now. But I wouldn't think that what I want to tell you, love, you wouldn't receive as much love as you can without this one trait I want to tell you. Well, do you think happiness would be too? Happiness is important as well in your life, but without this one thing I want to tell you, there wouldn't be that much happiness in the world. So here's the thing. I want to tell you that one thing that's going to make you very, very good in terms of your business online and off. If there was one question people were to ask you, what made you keep going? So it's not money, it's not happiness, and it's not love, amazingly enough. The one thing, the most important thing that you will ever have in terms of where you need to go and where you want to be is values. Yeah, values. And very good values as well. Now, that may sound boring, and I realize that people never really heard that thought about values, or probably don't even know what I'm talking about, okay? Well, let me explain to you. Now, a value, ladies and gentlemen, is something you think that is more important than anything else. More important than money, more important than even love, and more important than even happiness. And above all, values are what you consider to be important more so than your feelings. Okay? So we're looking at values and we're looking at feelings. And we're looking at values being more significantly important than feelings. Okay? It's very hard for people to kind of believe that, because we live in a time now that when people think about how they feel, something is more important than anything else. But that isn't so. To me, it's a conflict. It's going to be eventually conflict, in my opinion, between a value and a feeling. Okay? Say that 2 times fast. Feeling and value. Value and feeling. Okay? Here's an example. Everybody likes to eat junk food, right? But we got a big problem if you eat junk food, right? If you eat wherever you feel like eating, you're going to end up being fat. Let's just be honest with you. And what is it that stops people? Just tell me, answer this question now. What is it that stops people from eating all the foods they want to eat? Anybody? The answer is a value. That's right, a value. And what is that value? Not getting fat and staying healthy, okay? In other words, there is a necessity battle that goes on inside of most people. The battle between what they feel, in this case, the desire to eat that junk food, and the value what they hold, in this case, staying healthy and look good. Now, as important as a healthy body is, that conflict between what we feel like doing and values is even more important when it comes to doing is right. And when it comes to how we treat people, not just ourselves, okay? I just think about this now. I'm going to put you really in a position to really think, okay? You're walking on the beach with a dog you love, right? And all of a sudden, you look out at the water, you see your dog drowning. And imagine, too, at the same time, about 100 feet from your dog, a person you don't even know, let's say a stranger, is also drowning. Now, which one would you try to save first, the dog or the person? Just about anyone who loves their pet would feel like saving their pet first. But what if you value human life even more than an animal's life? Think about it now. And you probably do, okay? After all, you probably eat animals, but you wouldn't eat a human being, would you? I wouldn't think so. Then your value, the unique precisionness of human life, is in conflict with your feelings for your dog, okay? Let's say you take a test in school. Okay, now, if you cheat on that test, you may be able to avoid failing and maybe even go to a greater school. But what if you have a value? That's what we call now this is what's called a moral value, which cheating is wrong, right? And you know it's wrong too. But again, that battle between the feelings and the value comes into place. See, that's what I'm talking about. Everything that comes wrong with the world comes from people either not having high moral values or not living by them because they tend to feel they want to do something else. People who murder feel like murdering, right? And they do what they feel rather than live by, let's say, preserving the value of human life. People who steal feel that they want, the thing that they steal. Or they feel like having rather to live by the value of not stealing. But I can go on and on and on with it. And the list is pretty much endless when it comes to it. And that's why I would have to say that good values are just as important as anything that you can think of, okay? For business purposes and for the internet purposes, online and off, you got to make yourself a decision knowing that that customer is going to want to see what you offer in terms of the product or the service. Well, how they feel is just as important as anything because a sale is a feeling. But you create the value of what you can produce for that customer to sell. Okay? I know they got a lot of network marketing stuff that people don't understand. But if you can create that value for them in that business, then they can see the results the best way that you can produce out for them. Okay? You have to become the captain of that ship when it comes to creating value for that customer. Okay? And if they see something, which selling, and most salespeople will tell you that it's an emotional stability, you have to be that way, obviously. So the bottom line of the whole thing is that the list is endless about values and about important things any of us can have. Now, without these, the world would be a very terrifiable place. And finally, just know this. The best people you know, meaning the nicest, kindest, and most honest, are people who battle their feelings every day of their lives. And, you know, when you got one mashing up with the other, putting the cameras together, you want to put those two together. And when they format the feelings and the values put together like that, then success will become more creatively available. And whenever you have that available, the perpetualness will begin to play. So I'm just here to tell you, Curtis Abrams, Curtstride, is here to tell you that it is value that has more weight than feelings. Curtstride 01, which is on Twitter. Curtstride, which is on Facebook. 01 Curtstride. Curtstride 01 is on Facebook. Curtstride 01 is on Twitter. Curtstride 01 is on Instagram. And my website is www.curtstride Curtis Able, CurtisAble.com. Check out for those information of tips that you need to do to upload your business. This is Curtstride signing off and just saying that every business you have is your business, which is the most important thing, online and off. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.